In this week 5 play, Baltimore versus Cincinnati, we're going to see what happens when Baltimore loads up the box and leaves no safety deep. Let's film study. All right, here we go. Week 5. This is Cincinnati versus Baltimore. Cincinnati has the ball. It's 4th down and 1. Okay, 4th down and 1 after an offsides penalty on Baltimore. And as you can see from this picture, we don't have a deep safety in this play. All right, we've got an extra lineman up here, right? So this is an extra lineman right here, number 61, and then we have a tight end in a wing position here. So over here on the left, we have wing 2, all right? And over here on the right, we have 2 on. So wing 22 on, and then the back is in a dot or at home, okay? Dot position or at home. All right, so I think everyone in the stadium probably knows at this point they're going to try to run the ball and pick up the, 2 feet on this play. All right, we're going to take a look specifically at Roquan Smith right here. But when we get to the other angle, I want to show you what happens when you have a 9-man box. So the reason that this is a 9-man box, we've talked about in the past, with a single high safety, we would consider that an 8-man box. With 2 high safeties, we would consider that a 7-man box. In this case, we have no safeties high, okay? Our safety is all the way down here in the box. Our corner is down here in the box. So this is Kyle Hamilton up here. All right, and so we have no deep safeties. So on this play, we actually have 1 extra guy on defense for the number of gaps on offense. And as a result, Roquan Smith is pretty much untouched to make this play. Watch this. Roquan's right here in the middle. Shoots the gap, makes the tackle for a loss. They're off the field. Baltimore ball. Let's take a look from the other angle real quick. All right, now when the ball is first snapped, take a look. Boom. Okay, there's the gap assignments. And you can see there's one guy here who has no gap assignment, right? Williams here, 32, is actually not assigned to any gap because there is no gap for him, all right? In other words, there are extra guys on Baltimore's defense. There are too many guys for the number of gaps. So we got an extra guy right here. Now, I don't know if this was called or if Williams just decided he was going to come down here but this is clearly more stout against the run. All right. What you do give up is, as you saw on the outside, there's a receiver out here. And if they were to play action or just throw the ball deep, there's no safety help. So the corner out here on the right is really all alone on this play. But I think everyone knows that they're running the ball, so they go ahead and sell out here. Now watch Roquan Smith on this. This is really cool. First of all, let's go back just a little bit. All right. So our 3 technique right here, number 92. He's going to take a hard inside charge on this guard, all right, and eat up this A gap. But as he does that, he pushes back into the inside shoulder of the guard and doesn't get washed down, which makes this gap tighter than it would if he just disappeared inside. So watch 92 here. See, he goes inside hard, but now you can see all of his forces now trying to get back into the guard, fighting up the field. And really what he does here effectively is he sets an edge on the right side of the center, okay? If we keep going, now the running back has no opportunity to come back to this side. All right, so he's forced to Roquan Smith, who does what's called a gap exchange here. 92 and Roquan are gap exchanging the A and B gaps. All right. But I want to look at Roquan's technique here, and this is the important thing. The thing that we need to learn from is watch his footwork as opposed to, say, 23 here, okay? When the ball is snapped, Roquan is reading that tailback, okay? That's the only thing that's in the backfield to read, so he's reading him. All right, he knows it's 1 back, 1 gap. It's even more than that because they have effectively a 9-man box. All right, so he knows as soon as that ball is snapped, he has this gap. As long as there are no pullers, he's going to that gap. But he takes a look at the step of the back, and there he goes, right? He takes 1 step with his left foot, 6 inches, 45 degrees. Now watch 23's footwork. Ball snapped. See all that false stepping? Now, granted, 23 has this tight end man-to-man, all right? And he's essentially waiting to see if he blocks 53 down, he can trigger and go ahead and take that gap. But if he were to release, then he would have to go with him. All right? Probably not much chance for that. So he's fine. But Roquan does this exactly right. First step with his left foot, 6 inches, 45 degrees. Now he's downhill as tight as he can to the inside half of this B gap to make sure that there's no horizontal lane in there, and then ends up making a really great play. Boop. All right. So when you sell out against the run and they run the ball, chances are you've chosen correctly. Good job by Roquan Smith. Good call by the defensive coordinator, and they're off the field. Till next time.